It's the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trataros, John Meleka, and Raisi on the beat. Let's go.
Raisi K, the Raisin Man.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my cousin, pal, the man, the plan, the one and only John Meleka. And with us today, because we can't even do the whole the shenanigans. We got friend of the pod, Jets fan extraordinaire, just the man who makes everything work over at Knicks Film School, Andrew Claudio, with us today, because he's a fellow Jets fan, and I know he's in pain. We were all texting yesterday. Where it's like we couldn't believe what the fuck we just watched. Language is just going to be all unhinged today, and we're here for some grievances, man. We're here for some grievances, gentlemen. So, Andrew, how are you doing today, bro?
I've been better.
Yeah, I feel you.
Let's get this started. I would rather watch RJ Barrett and all of his wide open 3-pointers that he misses. I'd rather watch them on repeat for the rest of the year than watch Zach Wilson play another down of quarterback for my football team.
John, how are you feeling, bro?
Oh, I mean, I'm pissed off, but I don't. That was a little too far. Claudio already started a little.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Listen, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off because Zach Wilson is who we've been saying he is for the last couple weeks, and it's not even about how bad he is on the field, guys. It's that he talks to us like we're idiots. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this kid from BYU who honestly got smacked by Coastal Carolina and then comes here and has sucked ever since he's come here. And all we did was give him excuses. And then for the last couple of weeks, he's talking to us like we're idiots. Started from the Patriots game. Threw 7 interceptions in 2 games with them and still talk to us like we're idiots. Sent everyone outside the building, doesn't know what they're talking about last week, and then had 2 yards of offense in the second half. Comes out and says it wasn't his fault. It was windy out. At some point, we have to kind of push back. I love what Salah said when he just looked at him straight up and he just said, they asked him if he saw a spark in the second half. He just looked at him. He's like, no. And then he called it dog shit. I mean, I love Robert Saleh. Like, as much as we hate Zach Wilson at this moment, I love Robert Saleh with everything. So that's where I'm sitting right now. The season's not over. The division very well might be over. The season's not over. Zach Wilson still has to be our quarterback, Claudio. What up, Alex? I know you're in the belly of the beast right now. I mean, we had to deal with Shukri Wright's just for the episode last week, and that was tough, right? Giving us the whole New England spiel. You live there, bro. How you doing? Your in-laws, I'm sure, are giving you some hell. How you doing out there in New England?
Bro, my wife is a Patriots fan, so like this is the year of where I can watch legitimately on the field and be like, we beat them on defense. We have more weapons. We have everything that the Jets have, and then I have to go watch freaking Mac Jones out-throw Zach Wilson, who was promoted coming out of BYU to be able to throw off platform, has that beautiful deep ball, all these magical things that made him so intangible, where it's like, it's Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson by a mile. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks out of this draft. Give me Justin Fields at this point, because he's balling with the Chicago Bears at least, and trying to do something that when they have nothing. The Jets actually have something, and we can't do a damn thing. Any young quarterback that came into this system would be salivating at the mouth to see the wide receivers that we have, the running game that we have. We don't have Breece Hall right now, but James Robinson and Michael Carter is still a solid running back duo that you have on this team. The offensive line is not the issue. The defense held the Patriots to 3 points. You know who held the Jets to 3 points? Freaking Zach Wilson. That is who held the Jets to 3 points. Shout out to Michael Nania, friend of the pod. He's been posting videos every single minute, at what feels like this morning, of missed opportunities by Zach Wilson. Deep balls to Denzel Mims. Deep balls to freaking Garrett Wilson. You have over the middle pass to Tyler Conklin that he could have had for an easy walk in or get some yak, man. Talk about the throw to Barrios on that easy
Bro.
Dude,
Bro.
that's
Platform.
And you
That
want
was
to
off
tell
platform,
me,
Alex.
and you want to tell me that the wind is such an issue? I live out here. I live on the coast. The wind was not an issue. The wind can't be that much of an issue where freaking Mac Jones is going 23 for 27 today for 246 yards. It just can't be that. It cannot be that, because guess what? We've watched this guy play against the Patriots 3 times now. 3 times, and he sucked all 3 times against the Patriots. He didn't have to throw an interception today, but only 77 yards, 9 for 22. You see Garrett Wilson frustrated. You see everybody frustrated. This is a Zach Wilson problem. I don't want to hear this kid. Who's his PR, bro? Because this kid I want to know who his PR is. Because to be drafted at 2nd overall and to play like this is criminal. Absolutely criminal. Call the FBI.
Bro, you went to Justin Fields, right? Like, give me Justin Fields. Give me Justin Timberlake. give me Sally Fields at this point. Because, like, you're hitting on all of the very specific things that make this so frustrating, Alex. And I will fully admit it. The fact that it's the Patriots twice is what's making it hurt more.
Yes.
I'm sorry I like beating divisional opponents. I apologize. That is something that I enjoy for my football team. And what's making it even worse is the Belichick game plan of take away like your biggest strength, which is your running game. You knew they were going to do that. It worked. And so it's why I can't blame LaFleur for being like, we didn't run the ball as much as we used to because it wasn't working. But what Nania and what every other person that's clipping all of Zach Wilson's misses today is showing you is that Belichick was willing to concede. If Zach Wilson beats me, we lost. Fine. If you can make these throws, these wide open players in the middle of the field, you will win this game. And it's why it's so frustrating. The Jets win this game if he makes half of the misses that he made.
Half, bro.
Half of them. Like the Barrios one is comical because he like threw it over his head and it's like snapshot, a microcosm of the Zach Wilson experience. The Conklin one is worse. The Denzel's Mims one is worse. The third and one in the flat to Elijah Moore over the middle. The bounce passes he was throwing yesterday. This guy's a better point guard than Chris Paul. I swear. And that's the most frustrating part is we've in the past, which is why I was trying to contextualize where this loss ranks, and it's like, well, you lose 45-3 on Monday Night Football. Like the whole team lost to the whole other team.
Yep.
And there's been moments against the Patriots and against like the game against the Bills, week 17 and 27. I know that's gonna because that cost them a playoff berth. That's gonna be ahead of this most likely.
Deep. That one hurts right there, bro.
But like, if we're all being honest with ourselves, we thought we had found money because of what Ryan Fitzpatrick was that year, and we would have gotten it as a 6 seed. The Jets win yesterday. They're in first place and in the driver's seat for this division. And instead, they're in last place and have lost a tiebreaker to Baltimore, Cincinnati, and New England. And this defense is I'm not afraid to say it's Super Bowl caliber good.
Oh, yeah.
And this quarterback is holding them back. And it's what makes yesterday so frustrating.
Okay. All right. So let me just push back a little bit on the defense part. Okay. Because I love this team. And I feel like we found new money, honestly, with this team. Because the reality of the situation is we can't tackle. There's been like 4 games this year where the defense just does not tackle. Like we improved on guarding tight ends. We improved on guarding the rushing attack. We improved on pass rushing with no blitz. Obviously, our second down real. But the fact that you could just walk in against the Jets and throw it to your running back and guarantee 150 yards reception just by throwing it him out of the backfield, you are guaranteed to get 3rd and shorts because we're not going to tackle you. Like if you just get the ball to a player, you're going to get 4 or 5 yards. Like CJ Mosley, I love him to death. Really, he's been the glue of this team, but he's not going to cover. Like, he'll make sure you get tackled. You know what I mean? Like you'll catch the ball, get tackled after 5 yards. it's not Super Bowl caliber. I love them, but and yesterday
mm.
they did great. Yesterday they did great. It was McCorkle Jones. You know what I mean? I'm not really on board with their Super Bowl, but they could get you there if we had a normal quarterback, right? So that's what it's going to go back to. If we had a normal quarterback who could make the open plays, like you guys are talking about. So, Andrew, you're talking about it. This is just a bad win because we wanted it as Jets fans. If you're a Jets player at this point, you wanted that game too. You lost last game in a horrible fashion. You feel it now, and you know the division was on the line. But at this point, again, it just comes down to his mouth. I don't know how else to say it, dude. You cannot tell the defensive players that he didn't feel like he let them down. Did you guys hear what Justin Hardy said? The captain of the special teams?
Yep.
Captain of the special teams came out, and as we all know, I mean, talk about you mentioned a couple of games here, real quick, Claudio. This is probably the second game after the butt fumble where it was 3 turnovers on Thanksgiving, ruined Thanksgiving. The game was over in 35 seconds. I've never seen anything like it. I was speechless. Yesterday, that punt return, I was speechless. I actually I had no words. I was just sitting there. My brother got a phone call, and he was like, my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, how's John doing?" He goes, "He's nonverbal." That was the best way to but I was nonverbal.
John, I was over the butt fumble the next day. The Jets weren't as good as the Patriots that year. That loss made them 4-8 that season. That wasn't or 4, whatever it dropped. If it was 4-7 or 4-8, that was clearly a team that was destined for the playoffs, beating a team that was destined for the lower rung of the NFL draft. It was embarrassing. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't embarrassed yesterday. I was heartbroken. There's a different level of how they lost, and Alex, you hit it. The Jets are better than the Patriots. It's so obvious.
100%.
They're so much better than the Patriots. We're not asking for Zach Wilson to win games. He's 5-2 this year because they haven't asked him to be the person to win games for them. When he does less, they win. He had 150 yards against the Bills, and we're like, look, he outplayed Josh Allen. No, all he has to do is the bare minimum of don't turn the ball over and hand the ball off. And what did he do yesterday? Did that. And just barely because I don't know how the Patriots didn't have 2 pick sixes.
Yo, they should have had 2 interceptions. Oh my God, Devin McCourty should have had that.
Watching it in slow motion, it's oh, this is how they lose. That pick 6, man. We're asking him to have the bare minimum competence of hitting wide open players when you see them. And look, we're 3 podcasters. We're obviously not on the field. We can't do it. We didn't play, and apparently the Hurricane Katrina Cat 5 winds that Zach Wilson was playing in yesterday. Fine, Mike White wins the game yesterday. Joe Flacco wins the game yesterday. Joe Biden wins the game yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm tired of these defenses of Zach Wilson at this point. And then to John's point, own it. Own up to it. I get it that most of these press conferences are performance. I get it that most of these are reading a script. I love how Tom Thibodeau drives everybody nuts with his press conferences because he knows these are complete bullshit and he's just saying the bare minimum to give somebody a quote. Well, you know what you got to do, Zach? Just listen. It's on me. I'm the quarterback. I got to be better to help my team. And then deep down be whatever you actually think. It's oh, the special teams actually let me down. But I was in position to win yesterday. And the special teams is the one that cost it. No, I'm sorry. That it's probably unfair that we're doing this 20 games into his career, right? It is probably unfair. The expectations for this team has changed because John will push back. Yes, their tackling issues are there. Gave up 3 points this week, 17 points last week, 10 points to Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau Field. This defense does not give up points. Yesterday, every time they needed to make a tackle to prevent points, they did. They needed to get off the field on 3rd down consistently. They did. I'm sorry to go off on this, guys. This is one of the worst losses I've ever experienced.
Man.
I've been watching entirely too long to add that context to it.
Look, man, I'm glad that you asked when we were doing the reaction because this is the type of energy we need. Because
can I be real?
Yeah,
I was looking for therapy. I wasn't even saying let me come on. It was just I need somebody else to tell me how this is.
No, it's right here,
and
man.
then when you said that you want to come on,
bro.
and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me add it. Sure, why not? I'll add to the conversation.
We need you. We need each other. We need each other. All my Jets group chats blowing up. Started, from yesterday, from literally from that exact point, from the punt return up until now. We're still asking each other. I have Justin Fields going in and out of my group chats now. I have every single clip that Zach Wilson has missed, and now we're retroactive, Zach. Like, dude, you want to be a jerk to us? You want to be arrogant? Like, now we're going to start going back to those games, start going back to the Steelers games where it's not just the last drive. Now we're going to start watching the first 3 quarters and pulling that up because you were so bad. You were so bad in that Browns game. You had Corey Davis wide open.
He was
in the last
bad
second of the
in
game.
preseason. Let's keep it a buck. He was bad in preseason. I want to know what he did out in Utah. And I mean, like with this whole training camp where he's like, oh, he didn't have to hear about all the Cougars that he was attacking. Not. It's like, what are you doing, bro? What is everyone seeing? John, we had Connor Hughes on our pod, and he validated some of the concerns where he said he doesn't even look good in practice. He doesn't look good in practice.
No.
This is not an anomaly.
Ever, bro.
This is
That's
not
the last
an
thing I
anomaly.
ever wanted to hear from a beat reporter.
This is not an anomaly. The fact that our quarterback can't even have like good showings in practice, and that what's happening is practice is happening on the field, he's not it. I'm out, bro. I should have stuck to my guns when we were breaking this kid down prior to when we drafted him. I am back in that camp. He has so much work to do to prove me wrong at this point. I'm out. This kid is not it. You can't even manage a game. In year 2, you had a full NFL offseason. Like, it's not even the Michael Force system. Guys are open. This is what we're seeing, is that guys
Bingo.
are open.
Bingo.
You can't, it's not gonna be picture perfect every single game. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all this nonsense of just like, and then you said it, John. The fact that you act like a jerk to us. Like, we don't watch football. We've never seen it. Like, bro, we watch every single game. All right. All of us. We've seen Testaverde, Pennington, Brett Favre, Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith. We've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick, whatever you want to call him. We've seen Josh McCown. We've seen Sam Darnold, and now we're up to you. We've seen so many different versions of Jets teams with different quarterbacks and seen what even competent looks like. We've seen it. We've seen what competent looks like. I can tell you Mark Sanchez was even more competent than what we're seeing right now. At least Mark Sanchez had the balls to throw down the field and hit somebody. All right. I remember the overtime games. I remember when he played the Browns, the Texans, and the freaking Lions, and he made some spectacular throws. Yeah, it went down. Yeah, it went downhill after that. But even with Geno Smith, his rookie season, bro, we went 8-8, and there were games where I could be like, wow, there is something there. At least I could say that. With Zach Wilson, he has had one game, and that was against the Titans, where I could say he had something there. Maybe an okay Bucks game, if you want to consider that last season, and he had a spectacular fourth quarter against the Steelers. Where is the full game, quarter to quarter to quarter to quarter, that we could say, Zach Wilson, I could see the future in this point. Today, this past game against the Patriots, you could exercise so many demons. You could have won, even if you just managed the game efficiently. I could be like, you know what? Maybe if we give him time, we got something here, because he could at least do that. He couldn't. And then you want to insult us, not just once, again, bro. He insults us against both Patriots losses again. Get this kid out of here, bro.
Dude,
just get this kid out of here.
How mad I was trying to leave the parking lot. I was just trying to leave the parking lot, Alex. All I wanted to do was leave the parking lot after that Patriots game, and I'm listening to the fifth quarter show, and I have Zach Wilson just calling me an idiot, telling me he's fine. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm still in the parking lot. Like, and how he's performing now, you know, at this point, it's an insult to compare him to those quarterbacks. He is more Kellen Clemens. He is more Brooks Bollinger. He is more Greg McElroy.
Brady
that's
Quinn?
reality.
Christian Hackenberg, baby.
Dude, he's Christian Hackenberg with some money. Like, that's what it literally feels like. He's like a good looking, you know, kid that's just Christian Hackenberg. And I hate to say that because, dude, the Jets season's not over.
It's
like,
not.
It sucks.
And that's the thing. I'm glad that you said that, because
so this is what we're talking about, bro. This is what we're talking about. We almost were first place in the division. We're tied with the Patriots. Like, we're 6-4. Yes, we don't have the tiebreaker, but we're tied with the Patriots. Like, we're tied with Bill Belichick, McCorkle Jones, the #1 defensive player in the league. Oh, those damn red sleeves, bro. I was having nightmares about those red sleeves all week, and god damn it showed up, dude. I don't know what to say. They're really good. They're impressive. but we're 6-4. We're still alive. The punter sucks. The quarterback sucks. I've been saying this for weeks. I don't know what else to say. Like that, and it's just so frustrating that we're not talking about Carl Lawson. He's finally back. We're not talking about Quinnen Williams had an unbelievable game. Right? We're not talking about how our depth in the secondary really showed up for each other. Michael Carter gets hurt. Eccles comes in. He gets hurt. Then we got Willie Parks. My man who came out in the shirtless pregame, like coming in and playing slot corner. We're not talking about any of these guys. We're not talking about Sauce Gardner. We're not talking about the safeties making plays, dude. Jordan Whitehead. We're talking about the damn quarterback.
Where's Trevor, bro? Where's Trevor?
It's so frustrating, bro. It's so frustrating because now we have the Bears at home, right? The Bears suck.
Yo, he's got to win this one.
And that's the thing, dude. He's gonna. Like, the Jets will win because maybe I don't think they're Super Bowl, but maybe I'm just pissed off. But like, we have a top 3 defense at worst. You know what I mean? We have a top 3 defense,
dude. The thing is,
so
like,
we're gonna kill the Bears, and the Bears defense sucks. We're gonna beat them. We're frustrated as hell. We're at home. It's Revis Day. I'm sure they're gonna be in the all black. We're gonna beat the Bears, but then, like a moron, I'm going to Minnesota. And I'm gonna be terrified that whole week. I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm the biggest idiot in the world going to Minnesota right now, watching a terrible quarterback. So, like, that's where I'm at right now.
Hopefully, it's not flex to prime time.
Minnesota game,
yeah. Did they flex it?
No, I said hopefully.
Yeah, saying hopefully. Yeah, I'd rather the Bills game get flexed to prime time. Well, to be honest, I'd rather Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that's why Kirk Cousins sucks in prime time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Josh Allen can ball in prime time.
But there's actually a good game though. The 49ers Miami. That's a pretty good Sunday night flex. If I'm being honest.
And the thing is, John, like, talking about the defense, whether it's Super Bowl, like, there's no such thing as a perfect defense. Every defense has their flaws. Every team has their flaws. But the fact that they're out here, they're not giving up points. That's the thing. Red zone is like, all right, we're gonna hone in. If they give up 3 more times than they give up touchdowns. And I could deal with that, but you need your
for
offense.
26 yards. I guess that's cool.
I don't even care, man. 64, like, I don't even care, man. You can get all the yards you want. Yards don't win you games. The points do. So, like, if your defense,
it's so funny, yo. The Conklin thing is driving me nuts, Alex. That Conklin throw is driving me nuts. How did McCourty drop it? I'm honestly mad at McCourty. How did he drop that pass? Yo, we needed like 7 replays to see that Conklin was in the area. That's how high that ball was. How do you overthrow Mims, dude, by 7 feet?
How do you even not throw to Mims?
Yeah,
he overthrew by 7 feet.
Everybody.
Well, that's the thing. There's one where he didn't throw it to Mims, and there's one where he did, and he threw it over. But Mims is like 6'4", 6'5", right?
He's a tall dude, man.
Yeah, like, so, like, we need to have a heart-to-heart. Do we owe Elijah Moore an apology?
Yes, I am giving him an apology.
Look, at this point, like, okay, you saw it before we did. We get it. Yeah, this guy is costing you potential stats towards your next contract. We get it.
And look at Garrett Wilson yesterday. He's frustrated. Yeah. You see it on the field. He's like, yo, come on, bro. Just throw it in my area. He had his step
wide open. Dude, he was wide open on that slant. Like, it's crazy. Like, everyone's like freaking out. Like the Cowboys. We need Odell Beckham so we can be a real team. It's like we have Odell Beckham. Like, he could have took that slant to the house.
Bro,
you can't throw him the ball, bro. It's insane. So I hate that this is the conversation, bro. I was really hoping that we were gonna get up here and be like, first in the AFC East, we're back. Like, you know, and then we'll have the letdown versus the Bears. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with the letdown versus the Bears at home if we won this game, dude. And it just sucks that we can't talk about how great Robert Saleh has been. It sucks that we can't talk about how great Elijah Moore was. Like, I'm so happy we brought that up. It sucks that we can't do that, man. It really does.
But John, to your point, the reason we can't bring it up, because all of these things are true, is because of the quarterback. Like, there's literally nothing. Yes, the punter, like, don't be Matt Dodge and actually, like, kick it out of bounds. And when we're in overtime, that game was destined for a 3-3 tie. Like, I was accepting that midway through the third quarter, which is why, honestly, that last drive when the Jets got it after the 2-minute warning, when you saw how the drive was progressing and he, like, throws it out of bounds on first down, they get the defensive holding penalty, and I was even more scared. Like, oh no, this is more throws for Zach Wilson. I'm not sure I really want this.
Yeah,
he almost throws the pick 6, and then it was like, just take a knee, punt it on third down. I'm at that point where I'll take the tie at this point. they're so close to being elite, and they're not even like a Lamar Jackson away. They're a Mike White potentially away, and that's it's crazy to say that, but that's how bad Zach Wilson was yesterday.
John
And like,
Wolford.
right, like the Green Bay game where Elijah Moore raised his first concerns. I had some questions about the play calling because nobody was open. Now, like even with some of the clips the next day and some of the film watching that people did, it was like, all right, there was like some split seconds, but the secondary for the Packers did really well that game.
Yep.
But it was like they had a game plan. Breece Hall was cooking. We're just going to make sure we run it down their throats, and that's the game plan for success the rest of the season. Guy went 10 of 18 that game. That's how you win games with Zach Wilson. You ask him to do very little, and the rest of the roster that's completely talented wins games. And with today, we're frustrated because all he had to do was 1% more, and we're talking about a first-place football team.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's the frustration. Then we are where John wants us to be, where we're talking about how good the coach is, talking how good the defense is, talking how great these weapons are, how we went into New England and outplayed them. Because, like, maybe I'm just being naive. I never thought the Jets were going to lose until they actually did. It was like, this will either be a tie
I was right there
or
with you,
Zach
bro.
Wilson loses the game. Like, that's the only way I thought that they were going to lose. And I thought bare minimum, the defense will not give up another point the rest of the game. The only way they lose is honestly how they lost by special teams or Zach Wilson throws a pick six.
Yeah, and I don't even look at special teams because special teams should be placed in that position to begin with. You know, everything comes back to why is the defense on the field? Your offense can't get anything going because your quarterback is not doing anything. Why is the special teams in that position? Oh, because your quarterback is not getting you the points or doing stuff to put you in a position to win. As much as Zach Wilson wants to think that, you know, he was fine and it's not that much, no. It comes down to your quarterback play. And I go back to what Connor Hughes said, like the fact that Elijah Moore, like you're feeling like I could feel the frustration for Elijah Moore. We're seeing it for Garrett Wilson. The fact that he doesn't even look good in practice, bro. The fact that you can't even say he looks good in practice. Like, what are we doing, man? You know, we had DJ
haven't even
Bieniemy
talked
like
about the O-line, bro.
We had people saying, and like we had him being knighted as the Mormon Mahomes coming out of college. I'm like, yo, let's relax. Okay. He hasn't played an NFL snap yet. What's relax? And then we have DJ Bieniemy saying he could be at best Derek Carr. People are like, oh, that's ridiculous. And it's like Derek Carr won yesterday.
Yeah.
Zach
Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy with Derek Carr. I don't know. I don't want my QB crying in the press conference.
If I would love it if he cried after because
I would
he played
love
poorly.
it
I would
if
have
Zach
loved
Wilson-
it if Zach Christ cried. Yeah, we were about to say it, Alex. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would love to see like he was upset and pissed that he couldn't get this one and that he knows it's on him.
If
I would have
Zach
accepted
Wilson came to the podium yesterday in tears, I'd be like, you know what? He sucked, but like at least it shows he cares. For him to defiantly look at Connor Hughes in the face and be like, no. And also, I think that's part of why he said no, because he can't stand Connor Hughes. But like,
yes,
you know what? Like, lie to me, Zach Wilson,
bro.
Like that's all I need you to do is the bare minimum
on.
as a PR agent at that point.
In life, you're gonna be working with people that you just don't like.
Mhm.
Like there's like we know locker rooms. There's guys that people that don't like in locker rooms, but as long as you understand how to make it a work setting and just leave out of that. That's what it's like working with Connor Hughes. All right, for Zach Wilson, just be like, all right, no, like why? Just why? But even then, like when you look at the second one that that Paul Esden posted, right, with Bob who works for over ESPN, play-by-play announcer, it's still not taking accountability. It's still not. He's saying, yeah, we didn't. No, bro, you didn't.
In these conditions. In those conditions.
You are from Utah.
Like, did I had to go double check the weather. Like, wait a minute. Did I miss that there was like was there a tornado that went through Foxborough yesterday and I just missed
it?
Bro, and it only happened when the Jets run offense.
I was outside doing some work yesterday. And I'm like, it's just cold. There's no crazy wind. I'm like, I need a jacket. But you telling me there's wind?
Okay. All right. Well, let's back. Let's pull it back a little bit because Nicky Folk hitting those field goals, like you could see the wind. Like you could see that it was windy. Like the Greg the legs kick, which saved our that was all the way right and like curved back in. It was windy. I mean, he's not lying about that. but don't tell us. Like we get
Well,
like they even tried to mention
we're
that
talking
in,
about-
in the fourth quarter. Like Belichick chose the other side of the wind for this reason. During the punt.
John, let me be real with you. I'm actually willing to forgive the missing of Denzel Mims in the end zone because of what you're talking about. Like I saw Zerloin's kick make a right both times. Like so, I was like, all right. So there was wind the higher you get up with the ball. So like we're mostly like exaggerating with how the conditions he's describing yesterday. Like I am willing to be like reasonable about like okay, the Patriots most of their passes were short, quick passes, the opposite end of the field. Fine. I can't excuse the Conklin throw you're talking about. I can't excuse the Barrios throw, the Mims throw, the Elijah Moore, all of the Elijah Moore throws. Like there are so many other throws that the wind had nothing to do with that you can't just be like, oh, these conditions, like who could succeed in these winds, everybody? No, like I'm sorry.
McCorville Jones.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear when you give bare minimum quarterbacks this type of element. It wasn't raining. It wasn't snowing. It was not torrential downpour. We have some wind. Just wind.
Wind.
We're complaining about wind. Bro, you play with wind every day.
And wind so
Again,
light that Mac Jones bad that Mac Jones had 14 more completions than you.
And don't even tell me like Mac Jones can complete so many passes and you can't. Just don't.
Yeah.
You're telling me the wind took that pass over Barrios' head? I'm not talking to you, John, but I'm just saying like
that's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Like, give me a break, bro.
Again, like we don't need like Dan Feeney was the right guard yesterday, guys. Like possibly the worst right guard in all of football last year.
Bro, he had
all
time.
he's good at is drinking beer at the Islanders game. Like he's really bad, and he came in. He was fine. We have a right tackle who we got from waivers 2 weeks ago. That's who's playing. Fant is not going to play for the team for the rest of the year. I mean, again, and we're talking about this little kid, talking smack at the presser. You mentioned Elijah Moore. I think it's so funny because we recorded right after that game. Before we heard anything about Moore, before we heard anything about his frustrations, and we were talking about it, not to toot our own horn, but we were just like, hey, Elijah Moore, he's open and he's not getting the ball. Like, like we're just like watching it like here and there, like, dude, where is he? And then that day he came out and he was annoyed. I wonder if there's honestly a Mark Sanchez, Rex Ryan rift in the locker room where it's the defense does their own thing and the offense does their own thing. Cause they're like, yo, dude, you guys suck. So we're just gonna kind of stay in our own lane. We saw like the tweets that were like, do you guys think there's anything to that? Do you guys think there's like some sort of divide in the locker room, or do you think it's just like one game, kind of bury it and move on?
So a lot of the players are coming out saying, "Oh, it was an accident to like these tweets." I don't think a lot of them were accidents.
Well, JFM said that, but Sauce
JFM
also
so did Sauce Gardner.
So
he
did
said
Sauce,
that too.
yeah.
Yeah, Sauce said it too. But you have like Elijah Barrett
did.
Tucker deleting that tweet with the glasses. I don't know, man. I think look, Hughes also reported that that Zach Wilson's walking around. I think he's not the problem. I don't even think it's the Rex Ryan levels where the offense does its own thing and the defense does its own thing. I think everyone's kind of looking at Zach Wilson at this point. I don't even think it's a teams thing. Like I think it's you were looking at the problem because he is holding that team back. I don't even know how could there even be division. Like Garrett Wilson, when he played with Joe Flacco, had a career day. Game 2 of the season. You know what I mean? Like it's not that these players can't be productive. Like Breece Hall, when he was healthy, he's going out there and getting home run hits. Just playing. Like you can't blame that. And when your offensive line goes against the Patriots and does a decent job and you're seeing these pockets and he's holding onto the ball too long. He's once again leaving the pockets, just trying to create something where he doesn't need to create anything. I think it's just you're honing in on the one guy, the weak link, and players know where the weak link is. This isn't rocket science. Literally, just look at Zach Wilson. You're like, bro, you got to step your game up.
I'll be quick because I think Alex nailed it. But I said this to you guys when I came on before the season.
Yep.
The scary part for me about Zach, and this is like before what we've seen so far this year, is that the best this offense has looked has been with other quarterbacks at the helm. The best in his year to that point was with Josh Johnson, was the third stringer against the Colts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Mike White. Those are the offense looks significantly better with those two at quarterback than with Zach Wilson at any point of the season. The best it's looked is with those two in charge.
Do I need
The
a
best it's
tinfoil
looked the best it looks this season is with Joe Flacco in charge or with Breece Hall doing Breece Hall things.
Claudio, so let me ask you this. Do I need a tinfoil hat to now start thinking back a little bit where Flacco was throwing 60 balls every single week and he was leading the league in attempts, and then all of a sudden it like became like 20 with Zach, and then we're like, oh yeah, that's just the game plan. Like we kind of just like threw that under the carpet a little bit. Do you think there's a little something to that?
I mean, potentially, but like I think they originally went into the season with the game plan of do what the 40 it's literally what the 49ers did with Jimmy G. You know, they won a championship game with Jimmy G at quarterback throwing 7 times. Like that's what they want to do on offense. It's the same style of offense. And when they came in with Flacco to start the year, it's like, all right, we have to change everything up. This is a pocket passer. And the only way we can potentially put points up on the board is with him throwing it 60 times. And look, I don't think you should go all the way back to Flacco. I actually wonder what you guys think. Like, look, I agree. Salah's been great. He's done a 180 on me. I'm in on the coach. Was that game calling for a fourth quarter quarterback change, a third quarter quarterback change? Like, are we not like wondering more why he didn't pull the plug and at least reward this defense with a change at quarterback to be like, listen, you guys deserve at least a shot. Zach doesn't get demoted to QB2 forever, but at least for the rest of this game, let's give them a different look to see what happens. Like the QB change might be coming anyway, and we'll see what happens. But like, should they have gone to a different quarterback during the game yesterday?
John, I'll let you go first and answer this one.
Okay, so we were screaming it, right? Watching the TV, like put somebody else in. But again, there's a couple of factors here. We have Mike White, who's now the QB2. So what's it's not Flacco. So it's like what's the jump from Wilson to White? And then in that one game, and then you also have to, I guess, compare that to what are the effects of that going forward. You know what I mean? Like, what if we don't win this game? What if it's the same exact outcome, right? What if it's the same exact thing happened, but with White in there, right? Like the special teams takes it, we lose 10-3. It's the same exact thing. Now we have Wilson crying, in the locker room or pouting or however you want to do it. And now Mike White's uncomfortable. And we have a game on Sunday. You know what I mean? We're 6-4. So I don't know if maybe an in-game change was ideal. Also, think about it. They kind of won. They won the PR game because Zach Wilson threw up all over himself in the game and in the press conference. So now anything that the coaches do, we're going to be okay with. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say a word. I was literally arguing. I would love if this person is actually listening to the pod. Somebody in section 129, I was sitting with them during the Bills game. One of those season ticket holders every single game has the headphones in so he can listen to the radio, one AirPod in. And he's arguing with me almost every single play about Zach Wilson. Oh, give him time. Oh, it's his 18th game. I'm like, dude, he stinks. Like, look at him. Like, watch every throw. Like, watch every throw. And then he'll have a nice throw down the sideline or like some yak. And I'm like, oh, look at that throw to Garrett Wilson. He's amazing. Give him some time. I'm like, dude, he stinks. Like, we have to come to that aspect. But with the benching, I think we won. I think the coaches really won by not doing that because now all bets are off. And dude, it's not only Revis Day. We're at home and we're desperate versus the Bears. If he does this in the first half, I think they'll storm the field before they let him come out in the second half. You know what I mean? And so they won. You know what I mean? The coaches kind of they can't lose the fans or the locker room next week. They could only lose Zach Wilson, which is fine. If he sucks, he's like, okay, fine. Like, you're upset. We don't care, dude. Go sit down. So I think it was a good idea in retrospect to not have subbed him out. But the leash is this big, bro. It's actually 1 half long. I think he gets 1 half, and to do whatever he wants because that's 15 plays scripted already in the first quarter plus the entire first half. So if you suck, then that's it, dude. I think somebody else will come out in the second half.
I think that's perfect analysis, man. I couldn't agree with you wholeheartedly. No, because like as you said, if you make that quarterback change, and if you lose, then you're looking at the coach like, why would you do that? You were still at least in the game, even though Zach was playing horribly. You could be like, oh, well, maybe one play could have happened, one play could have opened up, but with that and the presser, now you could just suck against the Bears, and we're done. It's over for the rest of the season, and then Joe Douglas, whether that's going through the draft, throwing money at a free agent, making a trade, all
I'm doing
things.
this right now. Don't start. Don't start.
It's all
Don't
open, man.
start. I
It's
can't.
all open. It's all open, and it sucks.
I think
Before-
we start this now. I'm there. I'm there. This
Dude,
quarterback.
you can't waste this opportunity. You cannot waste this
Yeah.
talent. You can't waste this talent. This is so much. You have so much good talent on contracts for such a long time. You can't just say, let's take one more year and figure out with Zach at this point. You can't, because if things go haywire, that's another year wasted. And then you got to hope that within the next 2-3 years that something hits. You got to take opportunity. You got to take this opportunity right now. And it's so hard to bring everybody back. This team is just on a whole other level. And I think you also lose morale. Like if they come back and they're like this, the team loses morale. Go ahead, Claudio.
Ask a Bears fan whether they should have waited to see if Trubisky was the guy or not and wasted that defense. Ask a Rams fan, if they exist, if like you should have waited to trade for Matthew Stafford. That's all it was. Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff. That's the only upgrade they needed. And they're Super Bowl champs. Like at a certain point, you need to give your roster the best chance possible to reach its highest potential. And I haven't been like with Darnold, I actually was like, wait and see, because there were flashes. There was that rookie season, the like opening night, even against the Lions. He gets crucified for the pick six on his first throw. He was great the rest of the game. Like there's that Packer game later in the season. Like I don't foresee Zach Wilson ever throwing like 335 for 3 TDs and no picks. That's just like never gonna happen. And I just he had a good game to be handed the ball off every play of the final drive except one throw to Denzel Mims, the Bills game. It's just like that's the bare minimum, 150 yards, and we're like, Zach played great today. I'm
all you have to do is get a first down.
Yeah.
At the end, all you have to do is get a first down. Just get a first down, dude.
Yeah.
Just get more than 2 yards. Literally, it was just get a damn first down. We own the game. We own the clock. It's either we lose it or we go to overtime. Just get a damn first down, bro.
And
Dude,
even worse, on a 3rd and 1, there's a
You guys
first down play right there, right in front of you, and he's throwing the ball. That was either he threw it out of bounds or he took the sack because he wanted the clock to keep going. He wanted the Patriots to use the last time out. Regardless, he had the first down in front of him and he didn't get it.
And to even go on with like the other quarterback, like even with Sam Darnold, right? You could at least say, even when we had Gase for the first season, they go 7-9. You can watch against the Cowboys and other games. You're like, oh, there's something there.
That
Like,
Raider
as much
game,
as we
they looked amazing.
As much as
Yeah.
we hated Gase, I could say at least with Darnold, give this kid some time, and he has had much less talent than what Wilson has had. Much less.
Mhm.
You can't, like I said, any quarterback would be salivating at the mouth for this type of roster. Anybody. There. How can you not even be as good as Mark Sanchez was his first two years with the Jets? Like Sanchez at least was like, this guy's erratic.
Yeah.
But he made some damn plays.
Year 2 Mark Sanchez, you're right. Like the numbers don't stick out to you, but they were still a team that was built on the offensive line and the run. That Texan game where he throws the long pass down the sideline to Braylon Edwards, and then the pass to the corner of the end zone to Santonio Holmes. Like in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a quarterback. Like Zach Wilson would never be able to do that type of drive. And like the Greg McElroy example was why I was asking about, do you make the change yesterday? Like that was a game where Sanchez was sticking up the joint. Your defense was holding the Cardinals to like 1 first down for the entire second half. And Rex was like, I just want a new look. Like, even if it just like, if it energizes the rest of the team, because
we were so
going
out
with
of
a
it at
different
that point.
Yeah.
We were so out of it at that point.
So then I think the good way to like wrap things up is like, what do you think happens next week? Like, I think you think he gets a half, is what you're saying.
Go for it, John.
If he plays bad, he's out at the second half.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to play bad. I think he's going to be mediocre enough to win, and just going to keep it rolling. That's what I honestly think. And if we do get that prime time versus the Vikings, that's going to be an interesting game, man. Zach Wilson prime time, on the ropes in front of everyone. We all know about Kirk Cousins in prime time in front of everyone. Both defenses are great. That's going to be an interesting game for the Jets. But they have to win next week. I mean, they have to win. I think the special team is going to be better. I think Braden Mann. What do we say every single time? He has a horrible game, and then he has an amazing game. He had a horrible game for Braden Mann now. He's going to have an amazing game next week. He's going to actually punt the ball. Hopefully the weather isn't too bad at Jet Life. The running backs, they were actually able to block. James Robinson blocked. I saw a lot of that. Michael Carter even had a couple chips yesterday. I was really impressed by that. We're going to win next week. Bears suck. I just don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Because we're versing the Vikings the week after, and then I don't know, 6-4, 7-5. We're still like mediocre. You know what I mean? Win one, lose one. We're gonna be sitting in the same exact spot, staring at Lions, Jaguars. So I still think we're gonna make the playoffs, or I think we're gonna beat the Bears.
Bills,
and I think Zach Wilson's gonna play the
Lions,
entire
Jaguars.
game.
Because then we got
the
the Bills.
Bills are in there.
Yeah, we got Bills
That's
right after the
right,
Vikings,
in
bro. We got
Buffalo.
those two games back to back. That's tough. And then Jacksonville. I'm
That's
even.
tough.
I'm now. I was bold when we did it with Greg. The halfway point for. I'm scared of Seattle now, man. Truly.
Especially since it's in Seattle.
Yeah, I was confident that like at least if you have what we saw last week, and then Miami, we're still in this, and I hate to be feeling this way. We're still in this. The defense could just ball out if you get just some solid game management from Zach Wilson. We're still talking about playoffs, but
Playoffs. You get 2 yards in the second half. Playoffs.
hey man, can you imagine if the Jets truly won on the defense, like getting a pick six or something, or just setting it up for like a field goal? I would have lost.
That was the only way.
The
It's the only
only
way. I think
Only.
every
What do you guys
Jets fan consensus is like the only way they were scoring again is a defensive score. That was the only way we were.
Dude, that's
scoring.
what I was feeling. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna need the defense to do something because this is getting to a point where it's
Nicky
Bro,
Folk missed 2 field goals, bro. What else do we want?
And look, in both of those field goals, the Patriots got into field goal range and the defense pushed them back and made the field goals different. The other 3 times the Patriots got into field goal range, the defense pushed them back, which is why that defense deserved so much better than what they got yesterday. To close the loop on what happens next, look, the reason this pod has been so passionate is because you guys are right. The season's not over. The ceiling of this season is just flat out can't be that high with this guy at quarterback. But like I do also think listen, I said the defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. I think their defense is by itself good enough to make the playoffs.
Oh, they could carry this team.
Yeah,
to the playoffs.
this is a 10-win team. Like there are 4 more wins on the schedule. I don't know where they're coming from yet. There's a 10-win team out there. I am more concerned that because like it's difficult to say like, well, this exact same defense will be the exact same defense next year. Yes, they're all young, uncontrollable contracts, and only going to get better. This is the NFL. Injuries happen. You don't know. You're not guaranteed the exact same bill of health the next season, which is why I want them to maximize the team they have now. Probably too late. Having said that, all right, give me a half against the Bears, and if hasn't lost it, give me a game against the Bears. And then I think that's my biggest fear is that we're going to go through these next 7 games and know what we know about Zach. He'll do just enough not to like prevent them from making the playoffs. And then the playoff loss will be because we have this quarterback, and that sets up an offseason where go get a different quarterback. That's my fear. Is that's how the season plays out. Your defense was good enough to go so much farther, but your quarterback held them back.
Yeah, I think that's very well said, Claudio. I think
Favorite against the Bears, which is crazy. Favorite against the Bears, bro. favorite in the game.
So I think
5.5 points.
oh, it's 5.5.
It makes
Is
no
it-
sense.
Is it bad that I like the Bears to cover?
No, it's exactly right.
I wonder if Vegas is expecting a QB change. And that's why they set the line that way.
Ooh.
If they're expecting a new quarterback, and that's why the Jets line is what it is. That they're expecting Mike
I think
White.
they're expecting a bounce back.
Man,
They're expecting a bounce back. They're just like
listen,
Bears stink.
Would you
listen?
would you call
Listen, we're
hold on,
Jets
before you
fans.
get into
What
that?
do you guys know more that this is the circle? This is the circle, bro. Where he's gonna do well against the Bears. It's gonna be great. He's gonna come back and he's gonna get smacked versus the Vikings, and then we're gonna be staring at the Bills.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was there any game this season where you said Zach Wilson had a bounce back game?
So the thing about the Bills game is I thought he bounced back, but like he literally just had to not he just literally had to not be what he was against the Patriots. It wasn't a bounce back, it was like a regression back to the bare minimum, you know? So that's what we're asking him. A regression back to like don't lose the game for us. That's all I need him to do against the Bears. Then we have the Vikings, and that I think is the most disheartening thing about all of this is the Jets have one way to score points, and it's the running game is working. And it's why I went into yesterday. I took the under, nailed it. And I was like, you know what? The only way the Jets win this game is in the trenches. Like, it's funny. I said like 13-10 would be an ideal Jets win. And like, it was around there. It was 10-3, you know? So, the bounce back Zach Wilson game is literally what we've seen so far this year when he hasn't lost games. I don't think there is a 4-touchdown, 3-touchdown game in Zach Wilson's ability at this point. I've yet to see. He misses way too many bare minimum competent things for me to think that that's possible, you know?
Yeah.
So the people I was watching with yesterday, there's a guy that's a hockey fan that watched with us.
Yeah.
And he saw us cursing Zach Wilson's name afterwards. And he's like, well, what happens next week if he has a good game? It's like, it's not that he could have a good game next week. It's that if it happens, it's his first good game. Like, it's so much less about he can come back next week. It's next week. If he has a good game, it's like, holy shit, Zach Wilson just had a good game. I didn't know he could do that. Holy cow.
No, exactly.
Like, if suddenly Pete Alonso started hitting left-handed, and we'd be like, no, Pete Alonso can hit left-handed. I didn't know he could do that. Holy cow, look at you.
That's
the can't wait Bart Scott game versus the Patriots. Mark Sanchez had his career high. 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. Yep.
We're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you did it. Like,
I didn't know our quarterback could throw 3 touchdown passes. Look at you.
It'd be like it was like when Julius Randle went 40% from 3 that one season. Like, oh my god, we have a stretch forward.
Literally. I did not know you could do that, Julius Randle.
This is so sad. This is so sad. I'm shaking
like,
my head.
To your point, the season's not over.
It's not.
This is a really good football team that just doesn't have a quarterback.
But you know what's sad? I'm sorry. And if you're watching on YouTube, you saw me make a disgust face while Claudio was talking, not because of what Claudio was talking about, but because of what John sent all of us in the group chat, which is which is a tweet from Doug Clausen on Zach Wilson's first 20 career starts are a little too close to Jamarcus Russell's for comfort. And the stats are almost identical. It's
identical. Shout out to my cousin Vinny. That's a good place to end this because, dude, hold
on, before, can we just because they need it. The coaching staff has been on point. Everyone else has been on point. And this is not to say it's doom and gloom for this team, because I know we sprinkled it in there, but really wanted to say it's not over for this team. There's so much talent. There's so much to be happy about for this team. It is night and day difference outside of the quarterback from every single aspect of this team. The play calling is so much better on both sides of the ball. The defense is much better. We were concerned about the defense to begin this season. It is completely turned around. Offense is just, we now have weapons we could talk about. Special teams has been a little bit shaky. We actually have a field goal kicker for a little bit, which has been non-existent since Jason Myers left us. We actually have a competent team. We really do. It is just one piece. one piece, and I can't. It has been
And a
so
punter.
long that
Two
I can at
pieces.
least say that.
Two
Huh?
pieces. Braden Man stakes.
Okay.
I've been saying it. You can no longer make fun of me for wanting to draft a punter. If you make fun of me for wanting to draft a punter this year, we're gonna fight because we officially have to draft a punter.
I'm there for drafting a punter. I'm there for getting a better punter. Like the punter only matters if your quarterback can't convert, and that's the only reason the punter comes on the field is because your offense doesn't score or doesn't get a first down. And like Zach Wilson would solve so many of the punting problems because
Brandon Mann's
he
probably
moves the ball
tired, man.
down
He's
the
like, yo,
field.
again?
Yeah, the Jets. I forget who said this. It might have been Mike Shore, the creator of Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, all that. I think he had a stat today going around Twitter that the Jets had more punts yesterday than Buffalo had feet of snow. Like,
And more
And that, like, yes,
completions.
and more.
Than the
Yes,
Jets.
the Jets had more. Well,
Right.
so there were more feet of stats. What it was more feet of snow than the Jets had completions yesterday, and the Jets had more punts than completions yesterday. Yes,
Yeah, it's disgusting.
that's real.
And there might be USA might have more goals than we had completions.
And can I just? I'm obviously this is gonna come up on KFS because John wants to dig more deep into the back and forth. What's more agita inducing, more heartbreaking right now? RJ Barrett or Zach Wilson? I would kill for RJ Barrett to go 9 of 22 in a game. Okay, just once I would kill for that.
Okay,
The RJ thing,
From
That's
three,
fair.
man?
But also,
dude, just from the free throw line at this point. Like RJ's also had shooting slumps and gotten out of it. He's also not holding.
Came
Like
out.
if RJ turns it around, the Knicks aren't winning a title. You know, I really believe in this defense. I really believe in this football team. And it's a quarterback away. They're not even like they're not an Aaron Rodgers away. They're not a Lamar Jackson away. I said Mike White. They win the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that's how far they are away. The very smallest of margins.
Yeah. And
we also didn't extend Zach Wilson.
So
for
that's
$100
the
million.
argument. That's the only argument I'll hear is that because RJ's been extended, like we're stuck with him for a while. But like he's still 22 years old, can get better and be like the fourth best player on this team. Zach Wilson plays such an important position.
Yes.
That because of where he plays and because of where we are in the season right now, the options to get better are so like dire, you know?
And the thing is, like, it's windows, right? Basketball, you could have a longer window for like potential than in the NFL. When you have that potential right there, as you pointed out, Claudio, where this is like you could talk about going for a run in the playoffs because you don't know what next year brings. The NFL is so up and down. We had the Bengals go to the Super Bowl last year, and now look where they are, right? That's why it's like you look at Zach Wilson, like good Lord. And basketball's a game of runs, but we won't go too far into that. I agree with Zach. I agree with the
DJ or Zach Wilson.
Huh?
This is the most disgusting question ever. I hate Daniel Jones more than anyone on earth. He's a turnover addicted machine. But right now, you taking Danny Jones or Zach Wilson?
Yes.
Danny Jones?
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
I can't get there. I can't get there yet. But I'm starting to think that I kind of want Sam Darnold back on a free agent next year. I'll go that far.
I mean, I look at Sam Darnold and Danny Jones are like, all right, I guess you're all both the same thing.
Bring me back that 14 Jets jersey, baby. I'm ready.
Take the tape off. Take the tape off. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Andrew, thank you for coming on to the show and for airing out grievances and just talking about the
Daniel Day-Lewis over
Wow.
Zach Wilson. Daniel Jones, like, is it like I'd have Daniel Day-Lewis pretending in method acting to be a quarterback for a year than Zach Wilson right now. That's how far down the ladder I am on Zach Wilson.
But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. You're outside.
Oh yeah, the movie Twister was happening apparently. Yeah, hurricane heist at Foxborough. Goodness gracious!
You ever play football, bro? You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
Listen, I haven't, and by the looks of yesterday, I'd question whether Zach Wilson had ever played football before.
Well, it's not the SEC Coastal Carolina juggernauts.
No,
You know,
it's the best part about it is like the signs were there in college, and we turned to like, there's so much more we could pound
We
on
could
this
s-
guy. I just beat the Bears, be competent, and then I'll pray that you don't poop the bed again against the good team in Minnesota.
We can't lose to the Bears. I can't hear Big Cat talking about how the Bears beat the Jets. I physically can't hear that.
I
They
can't
have
watch
to
a
beat the
team
Bears.
be good with Justin Fields when we have Zach Wilson. That's why I can't lose to the Bears.
You know what? That's the thing. If Justin Fields comes out and looks better than Zach Wilson and wins, all hell is about to break loose. All hell's about to break.
Yo, this pod's gonna be bad. If Justin Fields, Ohio State quarterback, beats the Jets, we're gonna have a tough time here. We're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Minnesota. Tough time. We're gonna have a tough time
yeah.
in this pod.
Even worse for you, my man.
On that note, Andrew, thank you for coming through, man. Please let the listeners
Thank
know.
you, fellas.
Please let the listeners know where they can find you and all your work, or if you got anything coming out.
So Nick's Film School, you can find us over there, both our YouTube channel, our podcast, our Twitter account, and because we don't know how much longer Twitter is going to exist, we're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all the other platforms on social
Mastodon?
media. We also have a web. No, I have no idea how to. I tried to go sign up and I have no idea how to. So we just won't be of the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We also have a website now. It's spelled just like our Twitter account. Nick Film SKOOL. So if you want to go there, I don't know how much content we posted there, but the hub to where everything else is will be there. And then I'll give John a plug. Shout out the KFS newsletter. He's been killing it this season. 5 days a week. Monday edition is free, and then for I think $7 a month you get, or $5 a month you get a newsletter every day. So yeah, Nick's Film School. A lot of fun stuff going on over there, and
The best.
more successful, more well run than the Jets quarterback options right now.
Look,
My brother and I like to guess the stars of the game before the newsletter comes out. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just listen. Don't tell John I said this. I know this is a podcast, but don't tell John I said this. I'll certain mornings when like I was there for the post game, so I know his thoughts. I'll just like skim down to the stars and just see like, okay, John, I technically read the newsletter.
Those
Stars
are a
newsletters,
big deal.
the newsletters are like, they're so in depth, so
Mhm.
thoughtful, and for a great price. I highly recommend if you're a big Knicks fan and you want some true in depth knowledge and understanding of the team from a really like nuanced detail level, highly recommend signing up for Knicks Film School. It's just great content. You guys do a lot of great work over there as well.
Thanks, my man.
But thank you to Andrew Claudio for coming on and sharing these grievances, and for all of you listeners who tune in for this Jets episode and who are in the same boat as us. You all know what you got to do. Subscribe to this podcast. It's free to do so. All right, come support us. So that way we can continue to make more content. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you follow us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure you give us a 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a review or comment. We're also partnered with Fanside Minute Media, so you can find this podcast on the Jet Press or the Daily Knicks. And we also got that YouTube page, Knicks Coming, Jets Coming, ETC, period. No one writes out, etc. That shit's wild. Find the page, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And when you watch a video, hit the like button, leave a comment, add to the conversation. Sorry, Uncle Mike. We all know how you're feeling. We all feel you the same way. Don't worry. We're get all your thoughts. We're all back in that boat of misery. It's all good. And we also got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly. John, video producer Greg, and our guy and co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every single sport possible. These guys are doing such a great job. If you love sports betting and you need to put money down the line, these guys got you covered. And then last and
Chip's too happy right now. Not good. USC beat UCLA. Don't talk to Chip right now. He's way too happy.
And last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, forever how long it's here for, Instagram, and TikTok. You name it, we're there. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. We out.
JETS, Jets.